I gained like...
You missed home?
I was 225, man, when I came. My playing weight was like 200. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like break the, tension a little bit. I'm like, no, coach, not beer, just whiskey, right?
You're listening to Board with Nelly.
He was impressed that I was 6'2" point guard. Like, that was...
Really? That time was...
Strangely enough, it's not a common thing in Division 1.
Really?
I felt like a giant among the point guards. Again, coming from Serbia, I was a little guy, but in America, yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
In my conference, not many of them were at this height.
So he saw you played well?
Yeah, I played well, and he loved it right off the bat. Like, he called me a few times, scheduled a visit right away.
What school was this from?
Morehead State.
Morehead State.
I had another... I was supposed to go on a visit on the Murray, who was our conference.
Yeah, you want some more nutrition? I'm gonna look like an alcoholic because he's like, I'm pouring twice and you're not even having any.
But yeah, I went to visit, and the visit didn't mean to me much, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't care. Again, I'm bringing it back. Like, I was focused on basketball, so like I wanted to go somewhere where they want me.
Sure.
Right.
Priority. That's the number one priority.
Yeah, and so like I couldn't really care less how big the campus was and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I knew right off the bat, like on the visit, like if they offer, like I'll sign, right? Because like he really showed a lot of interest in me, and so that was a big factor for me. So I went to visit. Visit went well, and me and one more guy who was my co-captain when I was senior, but like we both signed. We were both junior college guys, and we both signed on the visit.
Wow! So this is the second year now. You're in Division 1 with this school, right? Second year in the States.
So second and third, right?
So do you have 4 years then after to play in the States, to play in Division 1?
No, 2.
2 years.
Right? So like you did like freshman, sophomore, and then you got junior, senior.
That's hard then. You have to.
It is. Yeah, you only got 2 years to do something, right?
Yeah.
And so.
So it's funny. First year. And...
So coach is, he just took over the program at Morehead and forming a new team, bringing his guys in. It's like he wants me to come there like right away, pretty much practice throughout the summer and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, coach, like I gotta go home, right? Like I'll practice at home and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, but make sure you practice, right? Like, this is Division 1 and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, but my mind was like, I didn't see no rush. The season starts in November. I'm like, yeah, I'll be back in August. I'm like, this is like, August, September.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah, October, like, yeah, it was the end of November, I think. Or no, something like that. Yeah, beginning of November. So I was like, 3 months to get, like, no problem. 3 months, man. Like, what you can do in 3 months, right? And so this is what I didn't know is Division 1 rules, like about practice, how much you can practice with a team, not practice and all this. I go back to Serbia, and then I partied. I actually know exactly how much I partied. 25 nights in a row I was out clubbing, man. Yeah. I gained like...
You missed home?
I was 225, man, when I came. My playing weight was like 200. I gained 25 pounds, right? And so I'm coming, like, and I felt like great. I'm like, look, I'm good, man. Like, I grew my hair a little bit. I'm coming in. Like, I had some jewelry going on, whatever.
These guys signed a point guard, they got a fucking small forward.
Yeah, and like, so funny enough, right? So I'm partying, and like, to be honest with you, like, a lot of that partying and like, stuff was a little bit of a blowing off the steam of like a pressure of all the previous years, and like I just wanted to like live it up a bit and like, so I'm coming in, like I said, like a little longer hair, like some necklaces, jewelry, whatever.
Jesus.
And the assistant coach is picking me up, and is like, I hear him on the speakerphone. I was like, how's my point guard, right? And like the assistant coach is like, looks like a rock star.
You got a brick in your hands.
No, I'm like, I just flew like 8-10 hours, whatever, right? Like, I'm like, just get me to sleep, right?
Man, I get in. He drives me straight from airport to his office. I get to the office. The guy starts yelling at me, man.
Sure.
Right away. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're so... What are you... Like, this is funny, too. Like, he, if you see my coach right now, he would probably tell you the story, like, oh, this was, like, the best comeback or something like that. But, like, he goes, like, I'm in his office, like, he's just yelling at me. Like, he goes, like, get on a weight scale, right? I get on a weight scale, like, 225. It's like, what the fuck? Right? Like, he's, like, losing his mind, like, yelling at me.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, so, again, this is another shock for me. I'm like, man, just like a month and a half ago, like, you were sweet-talking me, like, into coming here. I'm like, who are these, like, these two people? Like, it was like a total opposite of, like, when the guy that recruited me, like, oh, you know,
He's now invested in you.
And I'm like, holy shit, this was, like, you know, and so he's, like, yelling. I'm like, I wonder, like, he's like, what have you been doing? Like, just drinking beer the whole time. And I'm like, I'm trying to, like, break the, you know, tension a little bit. I'm like, no, coach, not beer, just whiskey, right? And
you did not like that.
But no, he starts laughing. Like, he will tell you, he saw that. He's like, that's when I knew I got the honest guy, right? Like, the guy's so honest. And like, meanwhile, I said it to break the the tension. I'm like, I'm not drinking whiskey. Like, I'm not. By the way, like, I'm not a whiskey drinker. But like, I just said it to like, come on, dude, chill a little bit. Like, anyways, he started like running me day in and day out. Man, I was throwing up, going unconscious. Like, he was like sending a coach with me to watch what I eat every day. Oh my god! Like, I was just like, I dropped
25 pounds.
I lost it. I lost it.
Yeah?
I lost it in a month.
Jesus
not
Christ.
25. Not
a pound a day almost.